The silence after the hearing was louder than the chaos that followed. Crow felt it immediately. The streets were the same, the broadcasts unchanged, but the tone underneath everything had shifted. The system was no longer reacting. It was preparing. He had crossed a line that could not be uncrossed. The first sign came before dawn. A man named Thomas Ivor was found dead in his apartment. Heart failure officially, natural causes, 62 years old. A former compliance director who had retired quietly 5 years earlier. Crow recognized the name the moment he saw it. Ivor had signed one of the earliest correction authorizations, not a decision-maker, a facilitator. A man whose role had been to make things smoother, quieter, cleaner, disposable. Crow sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the news feed, feeling the weight of what it meant. They had made their choice. The insider contacted him minutes later. They killed him, Crow said. Yes, the voice replied, no hesitation, no emotion. You told me they would choose survival. They always do. Crow clenched his jaw. This was a message. For you, the voice said. And for the rest of us? Crow stood and began packing, not clothes, tools, notes, old drives he had never trusted anywhere else. The things that mattered when time ran out. They want me to stop, Crow said. They want you isolated, the insider corrected. If you disappear quietly, the noise fades. Crow zipped the bag. Then I won't disappear quietly. There was a pause. That option has a cost, the voice said. Crow shouldered the bag. Everything does? By midday, the narrative had stabilized. Officials expressed condolences. Analysts warned against speculation. The public, exhausted by uncertainty, began to lean toward reassurance again. Crow understood something then that chilled him more than any threat. The system didn't need everyone to believe it. It only needed most people to want to. That afternoon, Crow received a location ping. No message, just coordinates. He hesitated only a moment before going. The building was unremarkable, an office block with no signage, no personality. The kind of place designed to disappear into routine. Inside, a man waited, older, gray hair, calm eyes. He stood as Crow entered, hands visible, posture relaxed. I'm not here to threaten you, the man said. That would be unnecessary. Crow didn't sit. You're here to explain. The man smiled slightly. I'm here to offer resolution. Crow folded his arms. You killed Thomas Ivor. The smile faded. We corrected an instability. Crow's voice hardened. You murdered him. The man met his gaze evenly. You make it sound emotional. Crow stepped closer. You sacrifice people to preserve an illusion. The man nodded. That illusion is stability. You live in it. You benefit from it. Crow exhaled slowly. You're afraid. The man laughed softly. We are cautious. You're fractured, Crow said. That's why you're here. The man tilted his head. We are adaptive. Crow leaned in. Then adapt to this. He placed a small device on the table. The man's eyes flicked down. What is that? He asked. Leverage, Crow replied. The man's calm wavered just slightly. Crow straightened. You want me gone. I want the truth preserved. We can both get part of what we want. The man considered him for a long moment. You overestimate your position, he said finally. Crow shook his head. You underestimate your exposure. The meeting ended without agreement. That night, the second sacrifice was made. This time, it wasn't subtle. A young investigative journalist died in a hit-and-run. No suspects, no follow-up. The case closed before the blood dried. She had been asking questions. Crow stared at her photo on his phone, a familiar knot forming in his chest. They're accelerating, he said into the dark. Yes, the insider replied. They're forcing an ending. Crow's voice was quiet. They think I'll fold. They think you'll break, the voice corrected. Crow smiled grimly. They don't know me. Silence stretched. Then the insider said something Crow hadn't expected. They're planning to expose you, Crow froze. As what? As the architect. Crow's pulse slowed. They'll blame everything on me. They'll make you the story, the voice said. A rogue, a destabilizer, a necessary removal. Crow nodded slowly. So this is the sacrifice they really want, he said. Yes. Crow looked out over the sleeping city. Good, he said. The insider hesitated. Good, if they make me visible, Crow said, they lose control of the narrative. A pause. You're willing to let yourself burn, the voice said. Crow closed his eyes. I already have. The next morning, a warrant was issued. Crow's face filled every screen. Accusations, allegations, carefully framed evidence designed to look overwhelming and incomplete at the same time. The public reacted exactly as expected. Confusion, doubt, relief. Crow watched from a distance, already gone from the places they would search. For the first time since this began, the council believed it had won. They had removed the problem. They had chosen the sacrifice. What they didn't yet understand was that sacrifices once made have consequences, and Crow had ensured this one would echo.